Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. We're going to learn how to make a tall, skinny hexagonal box. I say tall, it's quite tall. It's a good size. I like to think so. What's it finishing up at? 6 inches, 15 centimetres tall. That's a pretty good one in my eyes. But it's lovely to make, simple to make. Just a little time. It takes a little longer than perhaps one of my other projects, but just charming. And this is using free designer series paper. You know, we've got till the end of September. Grab it while you can. It's gonna go. Okay, so you need a piece of paper, 9.5 by 8 inches, 25 by 20 centimetres, and there are a lot of measurements coming, so please don't worry about writing anything down. It's all going to be on my blog. Click open the description bar below. You'll see a hyperlink directly to this project. Okay, so I'm just going to twist my bracelet around. It was a recent purchase on my little mini holiday that I took to London in August. But it's got a little tail, so I'm just twisting it around for a second. So on the long side, score it at 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, and 9 inches, which in metric is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Also on the long side, we're going to make some marks, except nobody's going to see them on there. So I'm just going to grab a pen. This is one of my Stampin' Right markers, and you make a mark at 3/4 of an inch, 2 1/4, 3 3/4. What next? 5 1/4. See, this is why I say don't worry about writing it down. 6 3/4 and 8 1/4, all in inches. In metric, much easier. 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, and 22. So we need to turn that to the far side so that we do scoring away from it. And those score lines come at 2 inches and 3 inches, which is 5 centimetres and 7.5 centimetres. Okay, so now with the marks, which are made and I'm not completely convinced that I can see, so I can see most of them, that's all good. Oh goodness. Let me get this scored up first, because that might make life easier. I had to choose the busiest paper in the world, didn't I? Swap that round again, actually, because I'm going to catch it and lose it. Somebody asked me about my bracelet on my left wrist, it's got Mickey Mouse on it, and it's a Swarovski one. And it's recently gone into their retiring section, so you might need to shop online or even just start ringing around local shops. But yes, it's Mickey Mouse, because this is me and I like a bit of Disney. This one's also Swarovski if you're interested. You might not be. Okay, so if I show you on the back, just roughly, if I take one end, so we've got my horizontal lines there, and then I've got verticals going all the way up like that, and I've put a little mark roughly there and there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score lines hopefully straighter than that, but like that all the way across, but on the other side. So, oh, for goodness sake, I'm really not seeing anything. Let's have a bash, but thankfully now I can see my vertical score lines. I think I can, yeah. So this is just the part that takes a little longer than normal. I mean, we're putting in, you know, I'm sticking in a dozen score lines now. But very, very much worth it for the look on your recipient's face when they go, "Oh, you made this for me? Thank you." And it houses lovely gifts. Mind you, with such a gorgeous box, you could just You could stick a bunch of sweeties in there, or some, you know, little miniature toiletries, and it would just look divine. Okay. So there we go. So all my score lines that you can't see, just trust me, they're all in there. Okay, and we're just going to gently go backwards and forwards on them. I wouldn't worry about it too much because it will all pull together when you pull your box. So just gently get them working. If I bring it towards myself, I can see a bit better. Don't need to burnish or anything like that. You would do if you did cardstock. So the very first one of this that I designed back in 2015, I did do cardstock. And you would want to be burnishing if you make a cardstock version of it. Exactly the same size, paper dimensions and everything. Score lines and the lot. But yeah, you'd want to be getting your bone folder in there and giving it a firm crease. But paper, not so much. There we go. Okay, so as yet, not cut anything. So I'm just going to take a little mitre off the top here. Take out the skinny rectangle, but I'm only going to cut to this first horizontal score line, not the second one. Okay, remember we put 2 in there, so only up to this first one. I would if I could see it. There we go. Seriously, busy paper with tartan in the background. It's all go, isn't it? Tartan and snowflakes. Oh, brilliant combination. Okay, so you can see I've taken a little bit there, tiny bit there, and all of these have been separated. So I'm going to get tear and tape down this side. It's the wrong one, there it is. I've got a sneeze coming. Oh my goodness. Right, so I'm not going to worry about the top at this point. I want to start at the back. So that's these 2 parts here. So I've got my seam where I've just glued it. These 2 are going to be the back, which means that the two opposite it are the front. So we're going to put those 2 down last. So this one and this one are what I'm going to glue and marry up, and they will. You're not going to be gluing them like that or wibbly and off. You're going to glue them straight, but I strongly recommend wet glue so that you've got time to get everything moved around. So a little blob of glue there, and you can eyeball it. You'll see if it's looking right. So a little blob of glue there. It's moved, but that's okay. I'm not worried. This is one of the front ones. The last one at the back. And the last one at the front. And you can see, I can't look directly down on it, but you will see it begin to pull together and line itself up. So I can see that one is lining up and this one here is lined up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, get my steel ruler because it's heavy, and I'm just pushing that straight down on top of all of those pieces that have been now stuck together, just to get that glue to go off a little bit. While I do that, one-handed, I'm going to grab Peaceful Dear. Oh, where's my punch? Who knew? Where's the punch? Oh, it's next to me. It's on my shelf next to me. It's a Peaceful Dear stamp set punch bundle. If you know me, I'm so much a punch girl. That's probably going to hold itself nicely. So I'm just going to stick that off to one side, let it fully dry. Look at my score lines. I don't know if you can see them. They've left an impression of ink and on there. So yeah, stamps, punch, I'm a happy girl. And I want this one with the words, because I seriously, with so much going on that paper, you don't really want to add too much more to it. So I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know what colour to put with it. This one, green, I went with red. I might just go black and then go glittery ribbon, because that's kind of the mood I'm in. So tuxedo black stays on. Oops, let's just knock that over. Why not? Stamp it and then punch it out. And I'm going to get a couple of, I'm going to take mini dimensionals. Just because I want to get them onto a few different places. So one behind the head as well as the legs and body. Oh, look, I haven't closed this up yet. Oh, Samantha. Right, so that's the back. That's where that seam is. So I'm going to come round and it's going to go like that. Now, if you get hold of it, remember we put an extra score line in there. When you just gently push with your fingers, it's not going to go any further than that score line, which gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, a base to put stuff in. It's not essential that you do that. I just like it because I didn't want it to go all the way down. I wanted a little bit of something there. So you can see the star shape that's on the top. To get your holes in, and I had this when I was designing this, I was really struggling to get my holes in the same places. And my husband said, Sam, just, you know, push it in half and go through all of them. So I do have a strong heavy duty hole punch that will go through lots of layers. If you don't, you know, it's not going to matter too much if they're not perfectly lined up. As long as you've got holes in, you're going to be fine. Because I was there going hole, 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 hole. It was just, really? Life's too short for that. Okay, so I'm going to get my glittered black organdy ribbon. I'm going to look for my front again. There it is. And it really is as simple as, how did I punch it? I punched it like that, pretty much, didn't I? So you don't even need to feed it in, out, in, out, in, out. You just go through a couple at a time. And that looks a bit mangled and messy, but when you start spreading it out with your ribbon, it forms the right shape. Yay! So, let me get this tied off. Don't tie it too tight, that will crush the shape at the top. And that's partly why I've used this stiffer ribbon. Trim off the ends. Like I say, that's all wibbly all over there. That's not a nice shape. But just spend a few moments shaping it out. And that one's pulled together tighter. Maybe I did need to do it a little tighter than I have. Yeah, probably. Oh well, we'll pretend I have. Actually, let's just go for it. Too cautious today. There we go. That's better. And that, I've got them all lined up. So now, all I need to do is just make sure that's pushed out. Oh, for goodness sake. Managed to stick my deer to that. Put my deer on the front. And I think rather lovely. Great table decorations, super decor. You could fill them with little sweeties, treats, toiletries. You could put a little bottle of something in there. But I think rather fabulous. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.